Going into Wbbj County and Weakley County right now. That is a significantly weaker portion of the storm here in Tennessee. Now we'll go on to the next portion of, this was supposed to be the velocity scan of that storm, but we'll go on to the tornado warning itself down. That actually is included in the Millington radar is in this polygon. So we're going to get a very good look as that storm moves over to see how it looks in the low levels of the environment. That is going to make a very close pass. There's that rotation right there on the Shelby-Tipton County line. We can actually zoom in a little bit. There's also a lot of lightning in this. 21 strikes just in this box of the screen you see. That contains maybe a portion of 3 different counties, 1 in Mississippi and 2 in Tennessee. That is pretty significantly unstable air mass today. Fortunately, shear is working in our favor against tornado development today. But there was sufficient rotation enough in this area just to the southwest of Drummond's that they issued a tornado warning. Now, this is the debris product, but remember, we are maybe 5 miles tops from the radar site here, just to the east of Millington. So this is not a long drive at all. So these scans are not, this is one of those rare portions of the atmosphere where we're not scanning thousands of feet above ground level. This is actually going to be probably more in the hundreds, maybe as much as 1,000 feet above the ground level. So this is probably an ideal spot to have that, but that is going to be all the warnings we have actually going on in West Tennessee. This is the newest severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby. It does include portions of downtown Memphis right here inside the 240 and 4055 interchanges, but the weather itself has not made it into the Memphis metro, or Memphis proper rather. It's in the Memphis metro because it's in West Memphis, but things are looking pretty grim right now. And actually another, wow, that was that circulation we just mentioned a few moments ago in Sedalia. They just that's the National Weather Service in Paducah. They just issued a tornado warning on that. But we're going to put a loop on this and show you how this line's progressed. Every time you see a little merger right there, there's been an uptick in rotation, and only 2 of those have lasted long enough to warrant the issuance of a tornado warning, that being this one here for Shelby and Tipton, and that one up for, I believe that's Graves and Callaway up in Kentucky. But as for right now, things looking just windy for us here in our corner of West Tennessee, but as we get this line progressing a little farther and farther east, again, we're starting to see some showers make it into Crockett County, Haywood County, but lightning also looks to be dwindling as we've got down to, this is 11 strikes in between Dyer, Crockett, and that's northern Haywood County down on the bottom of the screen just south of Murray City. Right now, for our counties in West Tennessee, there are no severe weather alerts in place. There are special weather statements in place, but I believe they actually expire at 10:15, so they won't be around for about 10 more minutes. But check out these wind scans. Some of them look pretty scary, but again, at this point in West Tennessee, Crockett County, Dyer County, Gibson County, you're about 90 miles from your nearest radar, so these are going to be several thousand feet above ground level. So you're not seeing what these bright pinks, that's probably somewhere in the ballpark of 40 to 50 mile per hour winds going away from the radar. But right now, that is, again, nowhere near the surface. We'll have to catch that on the a little closer to the radar. Again, if we could drag back down towards Memphis and see those, see how those velocity scans are a little closer to the ground. Yeah, right here is perfect right there. Let's take a scan from right here around Atoka, and then maybe south closer to Rosemark as well, if we can see how those scans look on velocity, just in terms of how fast it looks this close to the radar site. That's not anywhere near as intense as it looks well above the surface off to the north. Again, things are looking pretty mild for the rest of West Tennessee right now. Again, this is the only tornado warning in all of West Tennessee, the 21 counties of West Tennessee. That's it. And again, these radar scans, again, it's right on the radar, so it looks a little messy, and it's going to do that. Say that one more time, Mo.
It might be overshooting the higher winds that are closer to the surface.
That's true too. But right now, we're gonna watch that tornado warning over the next few minutes and see how things go. But right now, yeah, they turn it off so you can see the wind pixels. That's okay. but we're going to take a little bit of a break and come back here at around 10:30 and give you another update. This one will be from meteorologist Mo Shamel, but we're going to watch this line as it moves across West Tennessee. Looks like things are behaving so far now that we've gotten out of most of the mergers along the northern portion of the line. Memphis has said portions of the northern section of the line have begun to become outflow dominant. That is a good thing. We want outflow dominant. That means the tornado threat drops pretty quickly, especially in the northern half of this line. We're going to call that northern half right around the Forkadeer River, which is the Dyer-Lauderdale County border there south of Dyersburg. Now, we're going to hand it off to we're going to keep a live radar loop up, and we'll be back here in about 20-25 minutes and give you another weather update.
And good afternoon, well, good late morning, West Tennessee. Meteorologist Mo Shamel here with you with a quick update on the weather here as showers and thunderstorms continue to march their way across West Tennessee. A severe thunderstorm watch. I don't think I put that graphic in there for me, but if you can drag that in there for me, Jordan, we'll take a look at that. But for right now, we're going to take a live look out the window. We've just got some plain old rain, a couple rumbles of thunder making its way through Weakley, O'Brien, and far northwestern Gibson counties at this hour. No warnings specifically for the Wbbj 7 Eyewitness News viewing area. There are a couple warnings back towards Memphis right now, both in the, I believe it was in Tipton, in both Shelby and Tipton counties. Right now, there's a tornado warning involved with some of that as well. If we take a look at what's going here, we'll start with the big picture here. And again, we got this cold front that's going to continue to very slowly advance south and eastward here. What we're going to have to do is if we had a tornado, it was near the Millington area, and that's exactly where the Memphis weather radar site is located. And apparently there has been a power outage there as well. So some of these scans are, was this a new scan that actually came in, Jordan? I see the time did change up here. We'll see if this has actually been a new. 10:14. Okay, so yeah, so this data is actually a little bit behind. So we're going to cheat this eastward just a little bit. So this line is probably actually making its way into portions of northwestern Fayette County and also probably approaching Brownsville at this point as well. So that's where some of these lines you're seeing here. National Weather Service didn't extend the warning into Fayette County at this point. And again, anywhere on the northern side of this line, we don't have any current warnings either. At least not at this time here. We were going to take a closer look at that one. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on in our actual area. So we do have some heavy rain making its way through Dyer right now, the community of Dyer, Kenton, extending back towards just north and west of Alamo, or did have that about 10 minutes ago. So again, this is probably just a little bit farther east. In fact, if you do me a favor here, Jordan, just turn off Memphis right now so it will automatically default to the Paducah site, and we'll see if we get a. There we go. See what I mean? See how much farther along it really is? So there it is. So here's where the real line is. It actually has come through Trenton already at this point and extends down towards Alamo. So got some pretty heavy rain approaching Alamo right now there in Crockett County as well as it continues to work off to the southeast here. I think I'm going to have to do the same thing on this one too, and go ahead and save it so that it automatically defaults to that until we get the Memphis site back up. But we also have some heavy rain making its way through Weakley County right now as well, extending from about Palmersville down southwest towards Greenfield. That's also, again, this is not severe, but it's some very heavy rain, which, by the way, we need this. So it's a good thing at this point that we're getting some heavy rain out of this. Greenfield, if it's not there yet, it's coming in there now. Probably got some gusty, at the very least, 35, 45, maybe even 50-mile-per-hour winds pushing in with this line as it's working its way off to the south and east here. We started off with the UT Martin camera there, but I don't think there was much going on that particular shot at the time, though. We'll go ahead and take another live look out there just to make sure I didn't miss something there on that particular shot. But again, we still have the front that has yet to come through here, and it's not going to until probably about the pre-dawn hours of tomorrow before the actual physical front pushes its way through here. Until it crosses here, we're probably going to keep a few spotty showers in the area as well. This is, again, going back to the Memphis site, which is incorrect, of course. And again, this line is probably about 20 miles farther east than this at this point. So it's probably, was that an update I just saw, or are you over at Paducah here?
Road to Paducah.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, so approaching Brownsville at this point, it's still, if we just put a track on this, I think it was moving about 50 miles per hour. So go ahead and do a manual track here. You can go from maybe Trenton down towards Brownsville and then moving off to the east so we can give folks here in Jackson and Madison County and the rest of Haywood County and maybe even into northern Hardeman County some idea of when this actual line will arrive, whether we have radar or not. So let me get out of the way here so we can take a look at something. And he moved it for me, so let me get on out the way. There we go. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it. So we got Brownsville at 10:36 and Germantown, that's over in Shelby County, very soon here. And of course, Milan is going to be approaching very soon here, about 10:44 on the northern side of that line. Here in Jackson, we're looking at about 11 o'clock, so at about a little under about 25 minutes or so, the line it should start to make its way through Madison County. That line obviously doesn't look nearly as intense as this part did, but we don't really know what's going on here because we can't see it. Right now we're a little blind on the southern side of this line because of that power outage that they're experiencing right now in that neck of the woods. So we'll go back to the wide view here. On the pallet, you should be able to see wide home view. It's the top left one there, and it'll take us back out. And there we go. So they went ahead and extended the severe thunderstorm warning. It just issued that. So National Weather Service played it safe for the rest of the line. Instead of taking a tornado warning out, they just went with a severe thunderstorm warning, and now that's in effect for Fayette County here. I don't know the times on that, but they did go ahead and extend that out. What are they saying about, have they mentioned anything new about the radar situation?
So, nothing new about the radar. They did mention that they were replacing the tornado warning with a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. I'm trying to find the exact text they sent. Here it is.
If you go ahead and query it, and we'll see what they did send out, and I'll give us some times on that.
11:15 is when that'll expire.
Through 11:15, okay. So about 11:15, so a good hour and a quarter there. Okay, so we're actually looking at, it looks like you pulled up the Columbus radar.
I believe this is Columbus, yes.
Yeah, so Columbus is scanning right now. That's a little far away, but hey, that's the best we could do right now to see exactly what's going on. Again, so this is pushing into far northwestern Fayette County. Severe thunderstorm warning just issued for there. Still, no actual Wbbj counties are covered under any warnings at this point, but we do have some heavy rain, so we're just going to go back up there and take a look from the Paducah site here. Just go ahead and switch back to Paducah, rather, and that way we can get a better idea where the storms actually are versus where they were about 15 minutes ago. There we go. So again, so the heaviest of the rain now basically right along Highway 45 east and about Bradford down towards Milan here, and then back to the west, Humboldt. It's arriving right now. Some heavy rain, possibly a gust front pushing its way through Humboldt and approaching three-way right now, and that's going to continue to sort of push down to the southeast. We might be able to see that on the downtown Jackson camera here at this point. Looking off to the northwest, we might actually be able to see the gust front that's developing out of Crockett County, moving into far northwestern Madison County here at this point. And that's, of course, going to bring some gusty winds, but it is not severe. But we do have some very heavy rain and plenty of thunder and lightning. This has got, I need to put another bold on that lightning there. I can't see. 36 strikes in just this particular frame, 36 strikes to lightning. So there is going to be a lot of thunder and lightning with this activity as it's pushing through here. But at least at the moment, it does not appear that things are severe here at this point. Of course, a severe thunderstorm warning, you need one of two things, two things. You need either 1-inch diameter hail. We've had no hail reports at all today. Or you need winds of 58 miles per hour or better, and none of which has happened in a Wbbj viewing area just yet. So, and hopefully we can keep it that way as the rest of the afternoon goes along. But that's the reason you will get a severe thunderstorm warning. Not for the heavy rain, not for all the thunder and lightning. There's going to be a lot of it as this line continues to work its way to the south and east here. So we'll go a little bit further north and east here. And again, we're still on the Paducah site. And now we're looking at far southeastern Weakley County, Henry County, starting to get in on some of the action, specifically the northwestern corner of the county. Parish, you're still probably got some gusty winds pushing in. Looks like there might be a little bit of an outflow boundary starting to push southeast towards Paris there. But again, this part of the line is not severe either. Notice how we do have some red and oranges here, but we would want to see this to be a little bit more solid from north to south to really indicate that we really have a big wall of wind, of damaging winds that's trying to push its way east, and that's not what we're really seeing here on this particular scan either here. So we are going to we'll just do a real quick kind of time this out for the rest of the afternoon as this line continues to work its way east. Here we are at 1 o'clock, and again the line extends from about Paris down towards Somerville, and then as we get past about 2 o'clock, the heaviest of the rain somewhere between about Huntington and Selmer and points east. So we're talking from about Highway 45 east and the Tennessee River by about we'll say about 2 to 2:30 or so. And then most of the heaviest and certainly the severe weather threat will be out of here by the time we get to about 4 o'clock, it looks like. But we will still have some lingering showers behind all this. But the severe threat should be by and large done with by the time we get to about, honestly, probably about 2:30, we'll say about 3 o'clock at the latest, before the severe threat is completely out of here. We're going to take a real quick break here, and we're going to be back in about 30 minutes, hopefully with more data here for you with another update.
Pretty okay for the most part. We do have a special weather statement out for some of our counties, but in terms of severe warnings, we are all clear for right now. We can see that shelf cloud coming into downtown Jackson any minute now, and while we're going to see some winds pick up here very shortly, it does look like things are staying below severe limits right now in downtown Jackson, or rather at the airport. Things are, there it goes, southwest at 11 miles per hour, so we're not quite seeing those strong winds just yet, but here's a look at that one special weather statement. It covers northern Benton, northern Carroll, southeastern Weakley, and all of Henry County. Now, this is one of the probably weaker advisories we've seen today in terms of storm strength. This one only tagged for 30 to 35 mile per hour winds, as that's what Paris has gusted to. And we have this little almost a Boeing segment coming into Paris right now. So things have been beginning to show some signs of cooperation. At the very least, that's a good sign. But remember, we're down Memphis. Granted, I don't think we used Memphis for Henry County to begin with. We're using the Paducah radar right now. But again, things are a little squirrely now that Memphis has some power outages. So we're having to use some other radar sites that we wouldn't normally use. And so far, this is about the only thing going on in all of West Tennessee. Now, we do have showers trailing all the way back to the Memphis metro area along this line, but this is the only thing notable of strength. There was an area of rotation in this portion of the storm right here. You see it's got that little almost L shape to it. It was rotating a little tighter back towards Greenfield, but again, that has broadened out, has turned into more of a Boeing segment, more of a wind event than any threat of a tornado we've seen. But that's the closest we've gotten in our counties today, at least so far this morning. There's another area right here where we could see a little bit of an inflow notch. Again, I don't think it's very much worth keeping an eye on, but anytime there's going to be a cell merger today, you're going to see a quick uptick in rotation, and you may, that's what happened down in Millington earlier. They had that tornado warning because it was right by the radar. They had a really good view of it. Now that we're not so close, it's going to be a little harder for them to be convinced enough to pull the trigger on that. Mo, can you do me a favor and flip velocity on real quick?
Yeah.
Just to see if we've got any sort of rotation here just to the north of Tresvant. Just a little bit of an inflow notch right there. It's got me a little concerned, but again, it's not the craziest thing. And it's there. It's probably not the craziest thing, but it is worth keeping an eye on for now. Memphis did mention a area of rotation, but near Greenfield, that was back when we had that last good radar scan at 10:14. We're still down on Memphis radar for now, but right now, again, that area of rotation will be right here near the Weakley Henry County line, and it's just not there right now.
Ain't it on Camden either?
And Camden's not showing it either, and that's probably not too high in the atmosphere if I had to warrant a guess. I don't exactly know the angle it shoots. I know most radars shoot around 2 degrees. I don't know if Camden, do we know if Camden's the same there, Mo?
Yeah, I believe that this one's at 0.6.
0.6, okay, so it's even lower. Okay, but yeah, so we're not seeing rotational couplets anywhere, maybe a little bit right there, but again, these are not.
What I'm doing here is I'm moving the angle that the radar is looking at different tilt angles, but this is our standard tilt here, and right now we're not really seeing much.
Yeah, it does not look too impressive at all, but good. That's a good news. We like good news, and no news is good news rather than anything at all. But we do want to keep an eye on this. This is the only portion of the entire storm system that we're currently worried about because everything else is sub-severe. This is the closest thing we have to a severe storm in West Tennessee right now, and we haven't seen any sort of reports, any sort of radar data that would suggest there's something to be concerned about other than that one area of rotation they mentioned near Greenfield, but that was over an hour ago, and that rotation has since dissipated. So let's see, one thing we can do is let's go back to reflectivity and put a track on this. I don't know what they have it tagged for speed, but last I checked it was
about 35 miles an hour.
35, yeah.
So you want to track the line?
Yeah, let's track it at 35, see, give some folks a timing.
Yeah, let me get radar pulled back up here right quick for you. There we go. And then we'll put a track on it for you for about 30. We'll go from here. And we'll go southeast, and east-southeast rather, at about, I guess that was about 35.
Yeah, you can just take it out to the Tennessee River. That'll work.
Yeah, it's about
That
there.
puts it about 45 minutes away from the Tennessee River.
Oops.
And then that's going to put us around Paris at 11:08, so 3 minutes away. It's right on the doorstep. I bet if we actually do have a Paris camera, if we wanted to take it, we could. But Cedar Grove and Huntingdon here with also within the next 10 minutes. Ephesus at 11:15, Springville at 11:20, Brewston at 11:22, Wildersville at 11:26, Camden at 11:30, Holiday at 11:34, Tennessee Ridge, New Johnsonville, and Cozette. I believe Cozette is in Decatur County, but those Tennessee Ridge and New Johnsonville are over in Middle Tennessee. Those do not belong to us. So let's do that. What did I just say we were going to do? Oh my gosh.
It's surging just a little bit there.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that.
Let's go back outside. Ooh, it's looking interesting here in downtown Jackson.
Yeah,
So,
let's pull up the downtown Jackson camera, and then I don't know if I have it in that show, but I do have a downtown. Or I don't know if it might be downtown Paris, but we do have a camera. We'll look at this.
yeah, get a look at that shelf. Yeah, look at
That
that.
is a shelf cloud. If
There
I've
you
ever
go. We
seen
want to know
one.
what a
Wow.
shelf. That is it.
Right there. That is a shelf cloud. We normally don't advise taking shelfies, but it is definitely one that is one of the better looking shelf clouds I've seen in a while. But so far things are remaining pretty calm here in Jackson. Of course, the line's not quite here yet, but it is close. I mean, that shelf cloud, that is over us at Wbbj. It's past us, between us and
I'm about
downtown.
to go do a professional observation. What are you talking about? That is a shelf cloud right there.
That is a shelf
That's working
cloud.
right through Jackson right now.
Let's see what that it's going to put it at southwest at 11. So we're still not seeing those winds here in Jackson just yet, but we still have the humidity. We still have the energy. Pressure, probably want to see that pressure drop just a little bit before those storms get here to Jackson. Can we actually take a slide down to Jackson, see how it looks over coming into Madison County?
Let's go wide view here first.
Yeah, let's go wide view. Wow, it really, well, this is just Paducah, so of course closer to Paducah it's going to look a lot better. But here in Jackson, the Madison County line, we're well over 100 miles from Paducah at this point, I'm pretty sure.
So this is what it would look like if you were looking north right now. That shelf cloud you just saw come through, that's what it looks like on radar from Jackson. So that's what's coming southeast. Right now it's hitting northwest Jackson, northwest Madison County, dropping southeast. And again, that's just some mainly heavy rain. Of course, this is shooting pretty far from Paducah, but heavy rain, some thunder and lightning, some sub-severe wind gusts, certainly, with that activity.
Yeah, 44 lightning strikes just in this frame. That's kind of a downtick from what we've seen earlier today. Of course, today we had some scans that were showing hundreds of lightning strikes in a similar sized frame. But as of right now, things are beginning to behave. The atmosphere is becoming a little less favorable for severe weather. And we knew that was going to happen. We knew today was going to be a late morning thing. As we head into the afternoon here within the next hour or so, things are going to start to wrap up in terms of severe weather. Now, heavy rain.
Paris, but
Let's say that again, Mo?
I just got a video from somebody sent me from Paris with the shelf cloud coming through there, but I have to get it uploaded here first.
All right, all right. So we'll keep an eye on this. I don't think we're going to see anything too severe in Jackson, but again, we're looking from over 100 miles away here, coming in from Crockett County along 412 towards Hollywood here in Jackson. That is over 100 miles away from the radar site, and it's still picking up some areas of heavy rain there along Highway 45 between Humboldt and Trenton, but we'll keep an eye on things. Again, the most powerful part of this storm is there between McKenzie and Paris up to Paris Landing State Park in Henry County, and that's probably going to be the last little gas of anything close to severe for at least the foreseeable future. Of course, we're going to have to wait to see some reports out of Memphis, the Memphis area, to see what the southern portion of this line is going to do. But for now, we're going to throw it to a quick short break, and we'll be back at around 11:30 with another update.
Good morning, West Tennessee. Just a real quick weather update. We've got some heavy rain for most of West Tennessee right now. The main line has finally solidified a bit, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. But first, here's what's going on right now here in Jackson. Very heavy rain falling in downtown Jackson. Y'all are still out and about here, but of course, the downpours are here. We've been warning you that we're on the way. Thankfully, no severe weather right now. There are no warnings anywhere across all of West Tennessee at the moment. Hopefully, we can keep it that way, but we do still have a little bit to go before we clear out the whole region. And there are some areas that are completely dry still south and east of this line at this juncture. Did want to show a real quick video. This is what was sent in a few minutes ago from Brandy Petty in Henry County this morning. You can see the wave. Actually, this looks like what we call the whale's mouth. After the shelf cloud goes by, there's a lot of turbulence right behind that gust front. You get this almost wave-like appearance to the sky, and this was sent in from Paris, and we were looking at that on the downtown camera. Yeah, there's the end of the shelf cloud, and then behind it, this is the whale's mouth here, where you can see all the rolling, boiling clouds, if you would, with all that turbulence right behind that gust front. Thank you, Brandy, for sharing that video for us. Real quick look at our household items. We're still in a severe thunderstorm watch for the region. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at that, and that's going to continue until 2 o'clock. Of course, if you are seeing rain right now, they're probably going to start dropping counties out as this line continues to move east, but I think pretty much at this point, if you're up in Lake, Obion, maybe even Weakley, Gibson, Dyer, probably Crockett, Haywood County already probably done with this thing. You'll see why I say that here in just a moment. But let's take a look at the big picture. This is a broad picture across all of the country. High pressure building in behind all this. Got a ridge here, which, by the way, is starting to stall the front out a bit, which is going to play key. Meteorologist Jordan Hubbard's going to be talking about why that's a problem. Coming up on your full forecast, of course, later on tonight on 7 Eyewitness News at, I believe, what is it, 6:30, 7 o'clock there, Jordan? Your show is tonight. I always forget what the evening show is. But this line is long. It is expansive all the way from the Ohio Valley, extending all the way through West Tennessee, broken. The stronger part of the line is down here that's moving into Mississippi. Of course, the sun's been out in North Mississippi, but the good news is it's not been out too long in southwest Tennessee, but this line has still got to clear our southeastern counties before we're completely out of the woods here. So we still could see some reinvigoration as this line starts to march eastward here out of Hardeman County into western Chester County, McNary and Hardin, southern Henderson, and Decatur County. So we're not out of the woods here, but over the next hour or so, we're going to watch for reintensification, especially on the southern side where the sun was out for a couple of hours. There's a little bit more energy to work with there before we're completely out of the woods. So we're going to give it a good another 2 hours or so. We'll see this thing sort of wind down. The top of the line is starting to make its way into northern Benton County as well, extending back into portions of eastern Carroll County. Huntington, you're just behind the main gust front. I'm trying to track the gust front is what this little dotted line is doing, is trying to track that. So this radar shot is coming out of Fort Campbell right now, and it extends down into southern Carroll County. And again, this is where, if there are going to be any severe wind gusts, this is where it's going to happen, on the very leading edge of all of this. So if it's already past you, you are done. Jackson, we're done. We don't have a severe weather threat. We're done. Once this thing, the gust front came through here, there was not too much fanfare. I don't think we heard anything here at the studio. Me and Jordan have been here for a while. But if you're down in Henderson, the city of Henderson, yeah, well, this thing could reinvigorate before it actually gets there. So it's not there yet, but it's in South Jackson, coming right down Highway 45. Will be coming in. Actually, let's do a track on this real quick, Jordan. Let's track this thing southeast from this position down to the southeast over the next 30, what does it move, about 35 to 40 miles per hour. So we'll track this part of the line, and we'll drop it to the southeast here, and we'll give you some times of arrival when these gusty winds will arrive there. And hopefully they don't strengthen any further before they get there. But again, remember, we're missing the Memphis site right now, so what we're getting here is a little bit of what we call radar attenuation, and that's because, notice where it's shooting from. It's shooting from Paducah through all of this heavy rain to get down here, so this might be a little bit more intense than what we're actually seeing here as it's moving off to the southeast. So let's go ahead and track this line here from about Madison County now, and portions of Haywood County down to the southeast. Bolivar, it's pretty much knocking on the door right now. Silerton down the road, Road at 11:43, City of Henderson and Chester County at 11:49, Finger Community at about 11:59, Bethel Springs at 12:06, Selmer at 12:13, Morris Chapel. We've got 12:21 and the community of Crump. We're looking at about 12:31, and about 6 minutes later over in Savannah, we're looking at about 12:38 for this particular part of the line as it continues to move southeast. But remember, the sun has been out, so there's a chance it's gonna try to ramp up just a little bit over the next hour or so, and these may get a little bit more intense here as it continues to push south and east, and that's why you're still technically under the severe thunderstorm warning. So, and again, this is you'll get a warning for one of two reasons. Either your hail is the size of a quarter or bigger. We've had not a single hail report so far, so I'm highly doubting that's going to be the reason you get a warning. It's likely going to be because of a potential microburst or even organization along the line as it's trying to push into northeast Mississippi and far southwest Tennessee. Here's how Futurecast plays it out for the rest of the afternoon. Again, so it's already a little bit behind here from what's really happening here, but it's still pushing this whole thing out of here by this. Here we are at 3 o'clock. The severe threat's over with at that point because it's going to be this end here. All this stuff back here, that's stratiform rain. That's not severe. So it pushes on east and it's out of here. Cold front will be coming in right behind it, but it probably won't actually cross into West Tennessee until late tonight into the start of the day Sunday. Here we are in the morning on Sunday. You can see it's still just a touch warmer in southwest Tennessee, at least initially. And of course, meteorologist Jordan Hubbard will be talking all about that a little bit later on, while I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my weekend once we get these severe weather out of here, right? But again, heavy rain along with some thunder and lightning with this. We're going to do another update here in about 30 minutes, unless something tries to ramp up. We will be cutting right back in, and we will cover it in full detail should that happen. But meteorologist Jordan Hubbard is going to be doing another weather update here coming up in about 30 minutes.
So can you hear me? All right, good afternoon, West Tennessee. We know the sirens are currently testing in Jackson right now. There's not a tornado warning for Madison County. They're just testing. The line of storms is through Madison County. Our tornado threat is now 0 for us here in Madison County. We have a track for who hasn't been impacted yet. Henderson, it says 1156. It's past that. It's in Henderson, Darden, and eastern Henderson County, 1209. Parsons in Decatur County at 1216. Selmer at 1223. Decaturville 1225. Morris Chapel at 1239. Savannah at 1255. Counts at 107. And the rest of the towns I didn't mention, those are over into Middle Tennessee. Now we'll take a look over at a couple of areas of the line. We don't have any severe weather alerts in West Tennessee right now, but we do have a portion of this line that looks a little intense, but lightning has dropped significantly over the last little bit. There's actually a report of a gust of 25 miles per hour, a gust. So that means the sustained winds are even weaker than that. So wind threat is dropping pretty significantly across portions of West Tennessee, especially off to the north and east. Now we'll take a look at the middle chunk of this line between Lexington back towards Meaden through Chester County as well. Again, we still don't have the Memphis radar, so we're using every radar we've got in one shot right now. So this is Paducah, Fort Campbell, Little Rock, Nashville, and Columbus, Mississippi for the most radar data we can get in one scan. Fortunately, with the severe weather threat wrapping up here shortly, we don't have to look at velocity, so we won't need to swap over there anytime soon. In fact, most of the line has become a little, at least in the upper levels, has become a little disorganized, but the shear is a little bit better off to the south here, where we can see pretty intense line there from Tennessee, along Tennessee Highway 18 between Bolivar and the Mississippi state line. Middleton, you've got some pretty heavy rain, maybe some thunder and lightning coming in very, very shortly. We timed this out at 35 miles per hour, but the National Weather Service in Memphis said it may be speeding up just a little bit, we're going to keep an eye on it over the next several minutes. It's probably going to be out of West Tennessee within the next hour, hour and a half, so our severe weather threat's going to be wrapping up before you know it. And the severe thunderstorm watch only goes out until 2 o'clock. They've already begun trimming counties out of it. Of course, all of West Tennessee still under it, but if you are west of the line, you're done. We'll actually go back and show you the line itself. So Gibson County, Dyer County, Weakley County, Obion County, Lake County, you're done. Lauderdale, Haywood, Tipton, Shelby, Fayette, you're done. Madison, just a little bit longer and you'll be done. Hardeman, same thing, a little bit longer, you'll be done. Lexington, Decatur, Benton, Hardin, and McNary, you are just now getting into it. And I mean, Hardin County, you're not even close just yet. You still got another almost 45 minutes before the storms even make it to your doorstep, before you'll even hear them, more than likely. But we're still going to keep an eye on this until it clears the Tennessee River, and then we'll be weather-free for the remainder of the evening. Maybe some light showers behind this filling in, but again, weather's going to begin to cooperate over the next few hours. We are going to watch this area of southeastern West Tennessee between Chester, McNary, and Hardin counties, maybe southern Decatur as well. There was a little bit of clearing in the cloud cover earlier, so there may be a little bit of a chance that some of this southern chunk of the line here in Hardeman County tries to re-intensify as it moves through that area along Highway 64. But right now, things are calm and quiet. No severe weather alerts for West Tennessee. Again, you heard the tornado sirens testing in Madison County. It was just a test. There's no tornado warning for Madison County, and now that the line is through Madison County, you're probably not going to have one at all today. In fact, you're definitely not going to have one at all if the line's through. But we're still going to keep an eye on these 4 counties, Henderson as well. So we'll make it 5 counties to the south and east of Jackson for the remainder of the severe weather threat between now and about 1:30, 2 o'clock. We'll be back in about 30 minutes with another update.
Make sure I don't have any icing on my face. Hang on. Good afternoon, West Tennessee. Just another real quick update here for you with showers and thunderstorms that continue across all of West Tennessee right now. But we're only watching specific parts of the rain where there could still be a severe weather potential. And that's actually a very small part of West Tennessee at this hour. And that's not here in Jackson. We're done with the severe weather. Now, we do still have showers and a few embedded rumbles of thunder and lightning. That's going to continue over the next couple of hours. But for the severe weather threat, we're looking at a particular part of the storm. And we'll show you that here in just a moment. Let's first take a look at what happened in Paris, Tennessee. This is when the shelf cloud first went by in Henry County this morning. There's your shelf cloud there. And this is what we call the whale's mouth. And of course, it looks kind of like a whale took a big bite out of the area that you're under. And of course, that's really what you're looking at is the turbulence of the clouds. So that's what gives this a very scary looking appearance where all the turbulence is happening directly behind. Brandy Petty sent this one in from Henry County this morning. Thank you so much for that. Here's a quick look and update to the severe weather, to the severe thunderstorm watch from the National Weather Service. Notice not everybody's under it anymore. They basically dropped the watch for everybody from about Highway 45 west and points west towards the Mississippi River. It continues to the east towards the Tennessee River, even though a good chunk of y'all are done. You'll see what I mean by that here in just a moment. Here's a quick look at the big picture, and boy, is it a big picture. This thing is huge. It extends all the way from, yes, upstate New York through Pennsylvania, southeast and eastern Ohio. Yes, there's a tornado warning just south of Columbus, Ohio right now. And then it continues all the way down through Kentucky and down into West Tennessee, where we are still technically watching this area here. The severe threat, the only area that's under a severe threat, notice what's going on here. This is visible satellite. So this is what we're actually seeing on satellite. So it's not interpreting anything here. The sun is out as it go into southern middle Tennessee and northwest Alabama. And this line is starting to run into that. That's where we built up just a little bit of instability. And this is what I was talking about an hour ago, where we need to watch still in our southwesternmost counties. So I did highlight, let me back up here just to kind of show you what I'm talking about first. Everyone basically west of this line, your severe threat is over. There is still rain falling area-wide across West Tennessee, and there are still some thunderbolts. Of course, that's the thunder and lightning that's been embedded with some of the rain. That's going to continue for the next couple of hours. The severe threat, however, is confined to this area here. So in a triangle between Parsons, Selmer, Savannah, you're still under the gun here for the next hour or so. Let's go in tight. We do have access to the Columbus Air Force Base radar site, so we can see what's going on. And notice this is probably one of the stronger looking storms that's pushing its way through western McNairy County right now. In this particular frame right now, we have 41 lightning strikes in just the last 10 minutes between eastern Chester County through portions of McNairy County. Now, when we take a look at the velocity, now what we would want to see in terms of a more organized look, we would want to see the red and green directly together in a tight correlation. We're not really seeing that. It's a little messy, but we're watching a little bit of broad rotation to the south and west of Selmer as it continues to work to the east towards eastern McNairy County and eventually Hardin County as well. In fact, there was a little area I was watching here, but even that has seemed to simmer down a bit, and hopefully we can keep it that way. But also remember, this is shooting from Columbus Air Force Base, so we're shooting pretty high up in the storm from this particular angle. So we're probably looking at what we call the mesocyclone, and that's a organized rotation that's within the upper middle levels of the storm. And all severe or organized, that's why we call them organized storms, have mesocyclones. So that's not a telltale, I mean, it can be a precursor to tornadoes, but it doesn't automatically mean that the storm is going to have a tornado. As we track that part of the line to the east here, here's a look at some of the times of arrival. It's going to be in East View here very shortly at 12:40, Adamsville at 12:52, Crump at 12:59, Savannah at 1:07. We've got Counts at 1:09, and Big Ivy, big community of Big Ivy. How y'all doing down there? It's going to be there at about 1:26 this afternoon, as this little last piece of and strongest storm that we have on the board right now continues to work its way eastward here. So if we have a severe thunderstorm, it will be brief, and we probably got about another hour or so before we're out of this thing. So Futurecast again showing we're mainly out of this, the severe weather threat off to the east after about 2 o'clock here. And again, some stratiform rain still going to be possible. Cold front takes its time. It'll get here eventually, but it won't be until about Sunday. We'll say during the pre-dawn hours of Sunday, and it'll drop our temperatures just a little bit, but that's more of the forecast, which meteorologist Jordan Hubbard will be covering. We're going to be doing another full update again in about 30 minutes, and we'll hopefully be done completely with the severe weather threat by that point, but we'll see. If something happens before then, we will pop back in and we'll cover things. By the way, the radar images that's on the app will keep you updated, but it will be silent until we're back in about 30 minutes, okay?
All right, West Tennessee, this is going to end up being our last weather cut-in for the day. We'll be back to regularly scheduled 6 o'clock newscast later this evening. But we still have some rumbles of thunder here in Madison County, but the severe weather threat is past. Actually, Madison County has been removed from the severe thunderstorm watch, but they have extended that until about 10 o'clock, or not 10 o'clock, 5 o'clock tonight. But right now, you can see rain-cooled air has moved in. Apparently so has the moon, according to this. I guess it's sunlight sensor detects how much light comes in. That's where it makes that guess of what's coming down. Here's a look at the new watch. Of course, it just Benton, Chester, Decatur, Hardeman, Henderson, McNairy, and Hardin counties until 5 o'clock. Everybody else, if you are in the gray counties, you are all clear for the afternoon. Here's a look at the only alert in West Tennessee right now, and it actually includes a little portion of Mississippi there, but most of it is for this chunk of the storm just to the southeast of Stantonville, moving into Hardin County right now. This does not include the city of Savannah or the community of Crump. This does include, however, Counts and Pickwick Landing State Park. But again, there's nothing falling there yet. It is coming. The good news is this storm is outflow dominant now, so most of what's coming out is wind. There will be some heavy rain as that storm passes over you here over the next 30 minutes or so. But things are wrapping up our severe weather threat. Once this storm makes it through Hardin County, we are done. That is going to be our last little bit. This is all we're watching right now, is this portion of the line as it moves through McNairy, Hardin counties, and then it'll be over into Wayne County and out of our hands, but we're going to keep an eye on it over the next 30 minutes. I don't think it's going to reach severe limits, but there is a chance. That's why we've been watching this area of West Tennessee all afternoon. There is a chance things redeveloped into something a little bit more. That's why we got the special weather statement. There was some clearing, extra sunlight, which meant more energy for this storm to tap into, but still doesn't look like a whole lot. Still got about 37 lightning strikes, so it's still got some instability to work with, apparently, but we'll give you a track on that. And this is for the whole line all the way up to Parsons, but again, by then, it's not much of anything left in Decatur County. We do have Memphis radar back, so this is Memphis radar data coming in, and it does say we'll be in counts by 104 and 107. I'm not sure how that works, but Bruton Branch at 111, Linden at 115. That is, of course, in Humphreys County, so we don't necessarily have to worry about that here in West Tennessee. Big Ivy at 122. That's the last community on this list in West Tennessee. So we are about 20 minutes away from our severe weather threat wrapping up here across West Tennessee, and I don't see a need to do another weather cut-in until we come back for the evening news tonight at 6. So we'll keep it posted right here. If this gets upgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning, we'll pop back on. There's not a whole lot of shear left in this area of West Tennessee, so tornado threats pretty much down to zero. Not quite yet, but almost there. But we'll keep it up. Live radar will be going down actually after this, but if it does in fact get upgraded to a warning, we'll pop back on, but we're not expecting that.